Hey, Stephanie Isabella here, and welcome back to my channel all about creating your soul aligned business. We're talking all about hormonal cycles today, and we're going to be talking about how that can impact and help you shape your business and your decisions, and when you're creating, and when you're resting, and when you're reflecting. So I'm going to talk some general terms here because of course we are all unique, we are all individual, and everybody has different systems and slightly different hormonal cycles. But in general, on average, a woman's hormonal cycle rotates through a 28-day cycle. A man's hormonal cycle, on the other hand, rotates through a 24-hour cycle. And it doesn't take too long of looking around society and things that are going on around you to realize the way that the world is set up is mostly around a 24-hour clock. It fits with a man's hormonal cycle, which can be fantastic if you're a man. But I struggled a lot with this concept of creating consistency in my business, but feeling like that consistency had to happen every 24 hours. And what I'm really learning and really beginning to appreciate about my body is I can accomplish way more in a month if I tune into when my energy is really there for me and when my energy is maybe going off a little bit and I need to maybe rest, and that's the time to reflect, and that's the time to gather ideas and see what people are interested in. So how do you tap into this cycle? How do you become aware of this cycle, and how do you really make that shift? If you're working in the online world with a business, you have probably heard that consistency is key. And I will say that that is true. There is a lot to be said about consistency. And I'm not suggesting that a 24-hour consistent cycle is not serving you. I'm suggesting that you're maybe not looking at the big picture of how a 28-day cycle could really be tapping into your hormonal cycle to actually get the most from your time and energy. So, for example, women, when we're ovulating, we tend to be a little bit more radiant. We tend to be a little bit more outgoing, more creative. That's maybe the time when you are making the things, doing the things. And then we flow into our period, and maybe we're a little bit more tired, a little bit more reserved. That's the time for really reflecting and thinking about what happened and preparing and getting ready for this next phase again. So you can see how in between those two phases, there's plenty of room for action. There's plenty of room for consistency. But if you've been in this point before where you're in that kind of rest and relax mode, your hormones, your body is telling you, I'm not ready for go, 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 go today. But you created your calendar based off of a man's hormonal cycle where every 24 hours, maybe you have weekends off, but every 24 hours, that's the cycle you're going through. You're probably going to hit a lot of resistance and you're probably going to struggle. The other thing I'm just going to slightly mention here, not going to get into a lot of detail with it, but you might find it interesting to look at the relationship between a woman's hormonal cycle and the moon. That might help you understand things a little bit more also. Honestly, this is something that I thought was super woo-woo for a long time, so maybe you're in the same boat. But the more that I've looked into it, the more that I've really understood it, the more that I pay attention to the moon and my hormonal cycle, the more that I'm really able to tap into when my energy is there and produce and create and take action, and the more that I'm able to allow myself the rest and recovery when I need it, knowing that it's just a phase. It's not that I'm camping in that rest and relax mode forever. I'm making the most of that time. And that has been a pivotal thing for me in learning how to harness my energy and make the most of the energy that I do have. So I hope that helps, and I hope that that gives you something to think about. Make sure you click the little like button, subscribe so that you will get notifications when my next videos come out. And until next week, I'll see you later.